stop right where you are, because what I'm about to reveal will shatter every insecurity you've been carrying about whether you're really winning this invisible war. 48 hours ago, something happened your enemies never imagined possible. One of them collapsed publicly. This wasn't a normal emotional breakdown. This was total disintegration of someone who, 3 months ago, was convinced they had you under complete control. And when they were asked what happened, their words exposed the truth like a blade. That person already won, and they don't even know it yet. That person is you, and what they just discovered is going to freeze you when you finally understand it. While you spent nights questioning your progress, wondering if your effort mattered, wondering if you'd ever escape where you are, they were in secret meetings obsessively analyzing your every move. Not because you might become a threat one day, but because they already lost, and are only now grasping the size of their defeat. There's a brutal difference between thinking you're still in a balanced fight and realizing the war ended months ago and you won without consciously firing a single shot. And that difference has started showing up in real life, in real consequences, in the lives of the people who swore to destroy you. Subscribe to this channel right now and hit the notification bell, because I'm going to show you exactly what they tried to do, why it failed so spectacularly when their collapse truly began, and how to accelerate your ascent now that the main obstacles have already been removed without you even noticing. And if lately you've noticed the people who used to attack you are strangely silent, or they're unraveling in ways you didn't expect, understand this. It's not random. It's a signal. Write 777 in the comments if lately you've noticed the people who used to attack you are now strangely silent or mysteriously collapsing, and you're ready to understand why. We go back 11 months to a specific day when 3 of your main enemies met to design your systematic destruction. Not the obvious enemies who fight you openly, the dangerous ones, the ones who smile to your face while placing knives in your back. The ones who claim they support you while secretly sabotaging every opportunity you try to take. They met because something alarmed them. They saw you beginning to awaken, not in some vague spiritual way, but practically. You were making decisions you never made before, setting boundaries you never set before, rejecting manipulation you used to accept. And that was a crisis for them, because the entire system they built around you depended on your unconsciousness. It depended on you believing false narratives about your worth. It depended on you accepting inferior positions you never deserved. It depended on you doubting yourself while they benefited from your work, your energy, your talent, without ever recognizing you appropriately. The first to speak was the one who presents as a mentor but operates like a parasite. Someone who convinced you for years they were helping you when, in reality, they were using you as a ladder. Their words were simple and cold. If they wake up completely, we're going to lose access. We need to control the narrative before they discover how much they're really worth. Control the narrative. Translation: keep you believing you're less capable than you truly are, so you never fly solo and realize you don't need them at all. The second was from your professional circle, someone who profited directly from underestimating you. They said, the problem is they're starting to question things. They're asking questions they didn't ask before. If this continues, they're going to discover that many things we told them were impossible are totally achievable. Do you see the trap? They lied about what was possible to keep you in a box they could control. They told you goals were unreachable not because they were, but because if you reached them, their invented superiority would be exposed as fraud. And the third was even more direct, revealing exactly how they think about you. We need to constantly remind them of their past failures. Every time they try something new, we bring up experiences where they failed before. We keep the doubt alive so they never attempt something big where they could really succeed without us. That is calculated psychological warfare. Use your past as a prison. Make sure every time you feel the impulse to grow, the memory of failure grabs you before you even begin. They designed a 6-phase plan to keep you controlled. Phase 1, subtle isolation from people who truly supported you. Phase 2, negative voices disguised as realism. Phase 3, covert sabotage of emerging opportunities. Phase 4, amplification of insecurities every time you showed confidence. Phase 5, positioning themselves as the only saviors when crises appeared. Crises they provoked. Phase 6, maintaining the cycle indefinitely while draining value from you. It was meticulous. They invested months designing it. They were convinced it would work because it worked on others. So why not you? That night they sealed a pact, promising to execute it without deviation. They left that meeting certain that within 6 months your self-esteem would be so destroyed you'd never try to escape their control. But they made one mistake that guaranteed their failure. They assumed you were ordinary. They assumed you were operating with limited human resources. They didn't know that moments before they designed that plan, you had done something that changed the entire board. Not consciously, not strategically. From a frequency of genuine desperation that activates protections calculated strategies can't touch. 3 weeks before their meeting, you reached a breaking point. You were tired of fighting alone, exhausted from feeling like life was conspiring against you, drained from giving so much and receiving so little recognition that you did something you rarely do. You asked for help, not from people, from something bigger. It wasn't a formal prayer, it was a cry of the soul. I can't do this alone anymore. If there is something bigger than me, I need help now, because if I don't get it, I'm going to collapse. And the universe heard. Higher dimensions heard. Forces that monitor souls assigned to specific missions heard. And they activated a protocol that only turns on when a chosen one reaches a critical threshold where intervention becomes necessary for destiny to be fulfilled. A complete team of beings working in invisible dimensions was assigned to ensure that attacks against you would not only fail but reverse against the attackers. Not because you're flawless or mistake-free, but because your soul carries a signature. You have important work to fulfill, and you must be protected until you complete it. So when your 3 enemies designed their 6-phase plan to destroy you, they unknowingly wrote a 6-phase plan for their own collapse. Every attack would be intercepted, neutralized, and reflected back multiplied. And the most brutal irony is that they signed a pact promising to execute it without deviation, binding themselves to a strategy that guaranteed their downfall. They were warned, too, not with flashing lights, with signs. The first had a vivid dream nights after the pact, seeing the plan explode in their face. They woke up sweating and dismissed it as anxiety. The second received advice from someone wise. Be careful with that person. There's more there than you see. They assumed it was about your potential, not your protection. The third felt an invisible presence watching them while plotting the next move against you, a chill down the spine that was not imagination, but they rationalized it away. They ignored the signs, proceeded with the plan, and triggered a chain of events that, 11 months later, has them collapsing one by one while you advance with fewer obstacles than you ever thought possible. So what happened from invisible dimensions that guaranteed your victory without you even knowing you were being attacked? The first line of defense was what you could call the synchronicity shield. Every time they tried to sabotage an opportunity, an impossible synchronicity rerouted it back to you through an angle they couldn't block. 8 months ago, one of them blocked an important introduction meant to connect you with someone influential. They made it look accidental. But 2 weeks later, you met that same person in a completely unrelated context. And the connection was 100 times stronger than it ever would have been through the forced introduction they blocked. They thought they won by preventing the meeting. In reality, protection redirected the encounter into a moment where it would be genuine and untouchable. The second line was the consequence amplifier. Every attack returned magnified to the sender, not instantly, but in ways so perfectly designed they looked natural. The one who criticized you publicly to damage your reputation faced a public scandal months later exposing their own flaws. The one who sabotaged your project watched their main project collapse for reasons they couldn't explain. The one who spread rumors saw their credibility destroyed when uncomfortable truths surfaced. The most devastating part is that it didn't look supernatural. It looked like life finally catching up to people who lived without integrity. But the timing was too precise to be dismissed. The third line was strategic blindness. Their judgment collapsed at key moments. They made mistakes they would never normally make, self-destructive decisions they believed were brilliant. One attacked you publicly when they thought you had the least support, but protection arranged it so that, on that exact day, influential people would witness the attack and decide to support you openly. Their attempt to harm you became better publicity than 1,000 campaigns. And the fourth line, the one that would terrify them most if they understood it, was forced awakening, a mechanism designed to ensure you reach your real potential no matter how much they try to keep you asleep. Every time they tried to remind you of past failures, something inside you responded with determination instead of doubt. Every time they tried to isolate you, better connections appeared. Every time they tried to make you question your worth, validating experiences arrived from nowhere. It wasn't that you were merely strong. It was that invisible forces were counteracting every move they made against you. Now, how do you know with absolute certainty that you already won, even if your conscious mind hasn't fully registered it? There are 7 signs. 1. Unexplainable peace in chaos. Situations that once would have destroyed you emotionally barely touch you now, not because you're numb, but because your baseline has been lifted beyond ordinary drama. 2. Opportunities manifest without desperate effort. What used to require exhausting struggle now flows because artificial resistance has been removed. 3. Enemies avoid you or collapse. People who constantly attacked you are suddenly silent, or they're unraveling publicly because attacks against protected souls trigger automatic consequence. 4. Clarity about next steps. The future used to feel foggy. Now you can see because the fog they maintained is dissipating. 5. Influential people seek you out. You used to chase. Now the right people find you, not dream sellers, but real door openers. 6. Unshakable confidence rises, not arrogance, but deep knowing. Doubts that once paralyzed you now whisper at a distance while you move forward. 7. Your perspective changes so radically that past obstacles look smaller. Mountains become hills, not because what you lived was nothing, but because the eyes of someone who already won cannot see the past the same way. If you recognize 5 of these 7 signs, you're not walking toward victory. You're living inside it, and your rational mind just needs to update to what your soul already knows. Now return to your enemies, because what's happening to them is cosmic justice with surgical timing. The first, the false mentor, began collapsing 5 months ago when everyone they used as ladders started waking up at the same time. People compared notes. Patterns were exposed. Their reputation, built over decades, collapsed in 6 weeks. Doors closed. Respect turned into avoidance. And the irony is brutal. They are now experiencing exactly what they made you feel for years: isolation, lack of recognition, the exhaustion of giving without receiving what is deserved. But what you experienced strengthened you because you were genuine, facing temporary injustice. What they experience is destroying them because they are false, facing consequences that are permanent and earned. The second enemy, from your professional circle, faced a quieter but devastating reversal. Their superiority was based on hoarded knowledge, guarded techniques, withheld connections, all to maintain artificial advantage. Then the industry shifted in ways nobody predicted. Their secret knowledge became obsolete. The skills you built naturally became the exact currency of the new era. Now they watch you become indispensable while they become irrelevant, and they can feel the universe laughing without sound. And the third experienced the most public collapse 48 hours ago. An emotional breakdown in front of dozens of people, followed by uncontrolled confession, years of manipulation, intentional sabotage, keeping others down to feel superior. They didn't plan to confess. The words poured out as if truth itself was being forced into daylight, and among those confessions was your name. I tried to destroy that person for months, but every attack failed. Now they're flourishing while I collapse. It's like the universe decided I already lost. The universe didn't decide. They decided to attack someone under superior protection. Reality simply executed the consequences of that decision. But the most disturbing part for them is not just their collapse. It's that your ascent is accelerating at the same time. They see your life aligning while there's fractures. They see justice operating in real time. And that drives them mad, because if you were also falling, they could blame general circumstances. But they are collapsing specifically while you are prospering. The correlation is too loud to ignore, so why didn't you feel the victory? Because you won without obvious battles. No dramatic confrontation, no cinematic moment. Protection neutralized attacks before you ever heard the bullets. Your humility kept you from claiming your worth. Your conditioning taught you to expect suffering, so when struggle eased, you assumed it was calm before the storm, instead of admitting the storm might be over. The attacks were hidden in shadows, and the deepest protective forces concealed victory from your surface awareness until the right moment, because knowing too early could have inflated ego, weakened effort, or damaged integrity. Protection kept you striving until your character was forged strong enough that revelation wouldn't corrupt you. That's why this message arrives now. The timing is not coincidence, it's alignment. Now that you know you already won, what comes next? First phase. Within the next 30 days, acceleration. Things you expected to take years will appear in weeks. Connections you thought impossible will materialize casually. Resources you believed out of reach will arrive with surprising ease, not because you suddenly changed, but because artificial resistance has been removed. It's like running for years with heavy weights and suddenly someone takes them off. Second phase, within 90 days, people from the past who belittled you will return. Not all, only those truly remorseful. They will admit they underestimated you. They will apologize. How you respond will define your next level. Forgive with grace and your frequency rises. Hold bitterness and you create blocks. Forgiveness does not mean giving access again. It means releasing the emotional chains. Third phase. Within 6 months, you reach recognition that validates what you endured, not necessarily fame, but rightful acknowledgement in the sphere that matters. Fourth phase. Within a year, you'll be positioned to help others through what you survived, and your impact will be powerful because it comes from lived truth. Fifth phase. Within 18 months, you'll look back and see why every rejection was protection, why every closed door led to a better one, why every abandonment cleared space for your real tribe, why the design was perfect even when you couldn't see it. But it all comes with a condition: maintain what brought you here. Humility, integrity, compassion. If success makes you arrogant, blocks reappear. If recognition corrupts you, protection diminishes. If power makes you cruel, you reverse your gains. But if your heart stays clean while your capacity expands, there is no limit. So, how do you accelerate the physical manifestation of a victory already won in invisible dimensions? First, practice specific daily gratitude. Not vague gratitude, but precise gratitude for moments where protection operated. The random meeting, the perfect timing, the door that reopened through a different path. When you recognize protection specifically, you consciously authorize it to operate more strongly. Second, release the victim narrative completely. The story you tell becomes your frequency. You are not a permanently wounded person needing vindication. You are a tested one who overcame. Speak like it. Third, act from victory before external evidence confirms it. Make decisions the successful version of you would make. Speak the way a recognized person speaks. Move the way a victorious person moves, not from arrogance but from certainty that outcome is secured and timing is catching up. Fourth, help others who are where you once were. Generosity activates reciprocity, not because you demand a return, but because integrity multiplies. Fifth, eliminate draining relationships without guilt. Some people are energy vampires. Not all connections deserve saving. Protection cannot fully operate while you voluntarily keep doors open to those who feed on you. Sixth, celebrate small wins immediately. Train your mind to see patterns of divine support, not only danger. What you focus on expands. And now the complete reversal, the part that makes ego satisfied but spirit understand. The meeting 11 months ago was a 6-phase plan to destroy you. Isolation, manipulation, sabotage, insecurity, false saviors, endless draining. But look at what happened instead. Phase 1 tried to isolate you and it introduced you to a tribe 100 times more powerful than the fake circle you lost. Phase 2 tried to drown you in negativity and it sharpened your discernment until you can detect falseness instantly. Phase 3 tried to sabotage opportunities and every sabotage redirected you into an upgrade they couldn't touch. Phase 4 tried to amplify insecurities and forced you to face your shadows until you emerged with unshakable confidence. Phase 5 tried to position them as saviors and it taught you self-sufficiency so complete their help became unnecessary. Phase 6 tried to maintain the cycle forever and it snapped, cords cut, leaving you free while they collapse under their own concentrated negativity. So the plan to destroy you became the plan to elevate you. Every attack became a hidden blessing. Every obstacle became a springboard. Every attempt to weaken you strengthened spiritual muscles that now make you unstoppable. And the most devastating truth for them is that they spent time, energy, and resources building their own ruin while lifting you higher. That is cosmic reversal. That is divine justice with precision no human strategy can match. Chosen one, now you know the truth that changes everything. So hear this clearly. While you doubted yourself, the war was already won. Control was an illusion. And now that illusion has collapsed. Walk accordingly. If this truth resonates, your soul already knew it, and now your mind has caught up. Write 777 if you are ready to move forward not as a survivor, but as someone who already won.